Kagurabachi is a series full of great characters. No matter how big or small their role is, I can guarantee they're someone's favorite. My personal favorite character in the series is Hiyuki, the Kaminabi's strongest soldier. She's the wielder of the Flame Bone, weapon said to be on the same level of an enchanted blade. The Flame Bone allows her to use bone gauntlets that increase her strength, a rib cage that acts like a giant bubble against enemy attacks, and more abilities we've yet to see in the story. We know next to nothing about her past, and there's many theories out there to try to explain how she got to the point where she is. Some claim she was trained by a sword bearers, other that she's a former Hishaku member, but the main thing I'll discuss today is how strong she is and where she scales compared to other characters. When it comes to raw strength, I genuinely think Yuki is the strongest character in the series so far. Anyone who clashes with her always ends up on the losing end, and the only ones who can hold a candle to her strength are blade wielders. With speed, once again, she surpasses nearly every character in the verse, putting up better feats than people like Shiba, who struggle to keep up with the Denjin boosted Tenri, and also better feats than everyone's punching bag Kaizune. When not going all out against Chihiro, she was keeping up with him in terms of speed, and then when they teamed up against Kiora, she fought evenly in pace with a Nishiki boosted Chihiro. On the side of endurance, her biggest feats are basically running a gauntlet through fighting random goons in the auction, fighting some unknown sorcerers, Sazanami clan members, and then all the way up to fighting Kiora with Chihiro and still having enough strength to be going at even with him. And that is probably one of her weakest stats, and even then she scales above almost all of the verse. When it comes to durability, she's tanked hits from two different enchanted blades like it was nothing, and was launched into the stands by a centipede attack from Shunichi, only to get up like it was nothing and then just continue defending her curry. And with those feats, you really can't ask for more in the verse so far. In terms of battle IQ, she's had years of experience fighting on the front lines for the Kaminabi, and she was able to easily team up with Chihiro, someone who she had only fought against up until that point. Her only weakness is really her IQ, because in all honesty, just like most of us, she can be a little stupid at times. So where does this place her? I'd say she scales decently above our main character Chihiro, please go watch the video, and even above Shiba and Azumi for the meantime. But I would place her below Yura just due to him having that main villain status in the current story. And with her scaling done, I'd like to dive into her backstory and see what we can theorize about her past. The two biggest theories I'd like to discuss is her being a former Hishaku member and her being trained by a blade wielder. The one I lean a little more towards is the Hishaku theory. I believe it would make more sense because we could dive into her relationship with her sense of justice, where Chihiro was pretty much easily able to convince her to not let all those innocents die, which could relate to her guilt of being in the Hishaku. And this would also intertwine those two together more, and Chihiro would have to debate if he would still want to work within the Kaminabi if they have former Hishaku members there. It could also give a second reason to her shocked reaction to the Hishaku symbol on Yura's hand. And on the side of the blade wielder theory, it also has some merit to the story. It could explain why Hiyuki was selected to be the wielder of the Flame Bone, due to her probably having training under someone who trained with a sword. And if I had to guess who the wielder is, it wouldn't be Samura or her due to us knowing them now. I'm leaning more towards the guy with the scar on his face, because maybe they could have gone into a fight and the burn mark on his face could be from the flame bone. As to what role I think she'll play in the main story, I do think she's going to be more of a side character for the time being, due to her being so much of a powerhouse in the story. In the main cast, they already have Chihiro and Shiba, two powerhouses in their own right. And to have someone like Hiyuki in the bunch would just get rid of any tension new villains present. For example, if she was in the current arc with Hirohiko, that fight probably would have ended like 2 chapters ago, if we're being honest. The last part I'd like to theorize about is why Hiyuki is only allowed to use certain sections of the Flame Bone. When tasked with finding Chihiro, she's given only a restricted amount she's allowed to use. It's my belief that the Flame Bone isn't just a weapon, but also maybe more of like a Shinigami, something similar to the 10 Shadows from JJK, where if she exposes too much of it, the Flamebone develops a will of its own and is incredibly hard to control. That, or its destructive power, just comes too much depending on how much is being used. That's all I have to say for this video. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below, and I'd love to hear your opinions on her character. See you next time, guys.